What's up, everybody? Why we love horror here. I'm JWMaher. That's Abby Brooks. That's Aaron Brooks. I am live on location in Center Valley, Pennsylvania, at the Barley Creek Tap Room, because we are Lehigh Valley originals here. But besides the point, we're late to the party on Obsession, but I think we're early to the party on some of this new controversy.
Yeah.
Let me throw it over to Aaron. Aaron's got opinions.
Great. We are here to talk about Obsession. Before we start, if you're joining us to find out if Curry Barker did direct this movie, because that is apparently going around right now, is that it's impossible for a 26-year-old to direct a movie like this for some reason with all of the cast and crew from That's a Bad Idea, his short films and everything like that. And he's shown many times before at younger ages, obviously with like The Chair and Milk and Cereal, which I think are more complex than this, if anything. At least The Chair is. Like, I don't know how he made The Chair. Maybe he got help with The Chair from Steven Spielberg. But with this, yeah, it's like the new controversy that's coming out because it's a successful, pretty much universally acclaimed movie from Blumhouse Productions, which is, you know, they're back to their
Blumhouse Abominations.
Sorry, Blumhouse Abominations is coming to a shirt soon. But yeah, that's my little rant to start, and now we can actually get into talking about the movie because this is a good one.
Well, Abby, give us a synopsis on Obsession. What's Obsession about?
So it's a very simple premise, actually. There's a guy who they call Bear. He is really into this girl, Nikki. They're all in like the same friend group / coworker group type of thing. And he has a really big crush on her. He makes a wish that he doesn't think is going to come true. And it comes true that he wants her to love him.
He wants her to love him more than any person in the whole world. Like a 4-year-old making a wish.
But, of course, it does not go well for him. And that's basically the whole premise of this movie.
I would say, again, we're not up to spoilers yet, but I think the one thing that I really liked about this movie is it really captures that feeling, that adolescent feeling of like, oh, I like this person. I hope they like me. But it like weaponizes and terrorizes you and beats you over the head severely with that feeling for an hour and a half.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like my first thoughts, like leaving the movie, and this might sound like a criticism, but it's not the most original premise in the world. It's not the most original themes it's covering in the world, but the way it blends is so Curry Barker with the blending of the uncomfortable, with the familiar, with the horrific, with the funny. Like it's in a blend that is so Curry Barker that like I'm personally offended by this faux controversy that somebody started, and I'll continue talking about it with Backrooms next week because Kane Parsons also has been attacked. But sticking on this movie, I'm sorry, I'm fired up. But yeah, sticking on this movie, it's not the most original premise, but again, the way it's done is really well done. All of the performers are very good. Indiana Everett is obviously like the star of the show. She should be nominated for an Oscar,
and she should win.
Win. Like she's really good. We'll see what else. It's early in the year, but I think Michael Johnston also like deserves a ton of shine here. He's a gay actor for one, so I think that that's like a really interesting angle to play with it all. What I think makes it even more effective because I think he's not afraid to completely dive into this nice guy persona, which is presented here in a way that as the audience we're fooled. Like this is like a 500 days take off because like with like 500 days of summer, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. I was rooting for him. I was like at the end when he gets what he wants, I'm like, all right, like great. But that's really not the message of the movie. That's not the lesson with the movie. And here it is a example of with Bear, he's a nice guy, but he's not. Is he really that nice? And sure, like you can excuse the initial like making of the wish, but there's some pretty clear times very early on that this has worked, and then some things that happen that he does that we'll talk about are known as SA. So that's not good. He is a serial SAer by the end of this movie.
I think he knows he is, and I'll throw up spoilers. You clearly see him struggling with it, but he clearly is like, he just pushes that down The whole movie, pretty much.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
And I will say it is not an original concept. Of course, one of my favorites, Tales from the Crypt, did it first. Andrew McCarthy, Muriel Hemingway. That episode, it is Obsession. But Curry Barker just makes it fresh.
Yes.
It's totally fresh. Mm-hmm. Like, I love One Wish Willow. I love the whole like comedy around One Wish Willow. And like at the end, towards the end, when he's trying to like figure out how to like overwrite it, and he gets a second one that he can't break it, and he gives it to his friend. And like, best scene in the movie is the friend asking for $1 billion. Hands down.
Oh, the party is the best scene in the movie. That's okay.
Oh, the part. I mean, but, okay. For
the best like sideshow scene, sure. I guess you could say that.
Everything Indy Neverett does, we'll put that to the side. That's funny, and then everything, because like when they're in the restaurant and she starts screaming, fantastic. Everything she does at the party, fantastic. Her hiding in the corner of the room, fantastic. Like, every time she's on screen.
And getting up from the bed and her yelling, "Stay!"
when he leaves for the day and opens the duct taped door and comes back and she's pissed and shit herself. Fantastic. But I'll throw it back over to you. I've gone through all the best scenes in the movie.
Oh, no, it's okay. This is going to be a very good. Go ahead.
No, the scene that you mentioned when he wishes for $1 billion, I think that's one of the better like comedic scenes, because when Aaron says that this movie is very Curry Barker, he does a really good job of like inserting little humor scenes, moments in this movie, but I don't think I'd ever describe this as like a horror comedy. Maybe some people would. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would fully.
It's actually done right though. Like, there's a lot of horror comedies where it's just like, it's a comedy, like Hard Eyes. It's more comedy than horror. This is like the perfect balance where it's like
Curry Barker, man. It's Curry Barker, and like I'm not even trying to say it's a black comedy because it's not. It's not like it's like in the middle of black comedy and like slapstick horror comedy, because it's like throughout the movie he's being fucking hilarious. It's like the customer service scene is by far my favorite like comedic scene in the movie, when he's just on the phone with customer service guy's Curry Barker. So like right away I'm just like tuned in. I'm ready for it to be ridiculous, and it is, like, because he's like leading Bear down this road where he's like, so you wanna cancel your wish? And he's like, yes, cancel request or something. He's like, yes, cancel request. He's like, oh, we don't do that. He's like, well, like, why did you offer it? He's like, I could see where this was going. I felt like it's what you wanted to hear. But like, and it's just like you just throw your hands up. You're like, why? But it's so good in that moment. And at no point, even though he loves breaking the fourth wall with his skits, does he break the fourth wall with the humor either. It's just like continues to go. And Bear's not like, oh, what a week I'm having. Like, and then like, it's just, I thought like it has that at so many different moments. And I just really appreciate that. And like the way the movie starts, since like, I guess we can kind of work our way through it. It starts with the, coworkers from Cassettes, basically deciding to go to do some trivia. And, we all know a good thing about trivia. Why we love horror trivia. Go check it out. Be a part of it if you'd like. Just, drop a comment or message one of us. But, like, with, like, the whole trivia angle, he's like, I wake up rock hard for trivia. Like, it's just like, oh, man.
Me too.
Hello, fellow nerd. It's just like, it just feels so authentically written for such a, like, ridiculous premise. And then, like, you get to the end of the night and, Bear giving Nikki the ride home, and it's still like kind of interesting. I haven't gotten to rewatch this movie, and on first like viewing, I'm like, no, Nikki didn't like him at all. But
I disagree. I feel like if he had shot his shot, right, it might have just worked. It might have just worked.
She literally was like, you don't know when I have a crush on you, which is just like, I don't know if that's old me with friends who I got too friendly with, who didn't really like me, reverting back to my Bear days. I don't know if it's that or what it is, but it's like, that seems like a kind of a, let's go. Like, this is your shot.
Yeah. This is your like I said, they weaponize that feeling. It's like that. It's a very uncomfortable scene. Because
and then
I think everyone's been there. Everyone's been there.
Yeah. And it's like, he's like so embarrassed. I don't blame him for the wish, and the way he's wishing it does like send him into like a scared little kid just trying to hide from the situation. He's like, I wish she liked me more than anyone in the whole wide world. Like, I'm like, who wish it? But it's just like, because like that's what you become so shrunken down when that moment happens, and you're like, oh my God, like I completely blew it. And then it's like from there, it's off to the races. Nikki begins her Oscar campaign, and I think it's going to go really strong, and she deserves it. Like, she's so incredible, and like right away, she's like off. He thinks she's on drugs. Cooper thinks she's on Molly, and it just escalates from there. And it's, like I don't know where we want to go next, but
I would say, like, we talked about the comedy aspects. There are, and I think what makes a good horror comedy is when it's a full 50-50. And I think there are really good horror scenes in this movie. I think there's really like off the wall, like practical effects in this movie. And I'll point to the unfortunate arc of Sarah, where like Sarah's the girl that Bear probably should have gone for because she's into him. And I'd say they're about equal with regards to like looks wise. And then he just kind of sneaks off to have a nice friendly conversation with her in the car because she finally got into this art school. But Nikki doesn't play that.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that scene?
No, yeah. It's a really good scene. It's one of those scenes, and again, this is something that he also does really good, where we said it's not always the most original. It's where they're sitting in the car and like he focuses on the window, and it's like you're just waiting for Nikki or someone to like pop up in the window. It's like she's gonna pop up, but then when she eventually does, it's still shocking because she bashes her face in, and it's really horrific. It's probably one of the more grotesque, violent scenes in the movie. But even so, it's like a scene where it's like we know it's coming, but then he just like takes it and just makes it just really a very memorable scene.
I think the whole movie is like it's good, predictable. Like this has to go this way, and like it's coming, and then Curry just delivers every time. Like,
yeah, I think the only we'll get towards the end. I think the ending, there's a couple different ways it could have went, and there might be a way which I'll talk about, which I feel like might have been a better ending than what we got. But not all respect, regardless. Like the party scene, which precedes that, but is just such a great scene. There's that like really weird story that Nikki tells about Hansel and Gretel and like
a brother sister thing,
like incestuous and all this, and like
it's like all the little details like that where it's like you're like looking for, and it's like her kind of coming out a little bit as like, oh, I think of you as like a brother kind of thing, but like it's just done in like a really weird way.
And my guy from the chair shows back up with a haircut, and he's just like so uncomfortable. And again, this might be a little bit of my own just like personal bias going in. This is my number 1 or number 2 most anticipated movie of the year. I've watched like everything Curry Barker has done leading up to this and afterwards. But like I just feel like everybody understands the assignment from the bottom to the top on this cast. From the most small side character, both of the clerks in the pawn shop are fucking hilarious, and just like one was like, "Hey man, I used my wish; it was fine." Like he probably just wished.
I want to know what he wished.
He probably
for.
just wished for some weed. Like it's just like you got to keep it simple here, and you can have a good wish. It's when you make it creepy and take away the autonomy of another human being that we have to punish you. Like that's where. And here's the other messed up part about Bear, is that the only reason first of all, on the customer service, he wants to adjust the wish. So he still wants Nikki not to have autonomy. He just wants it to be a little more convenient in the way he wants it. So it's just like, it's great until it's inconvenient for him. It's great until she's smashing a glass bottle at a party on her face and then refusing emergency services, I guess, at the hospital. I don't know how that really worked. But like all of that, it's just like, it really is just like, Bear, you piece of shit. The more I think about this, at first I was like, oh, he's not that bad. I think
he is not the protagonist.
He's fucking awful. And the fact that he's like sneakily making it look like he's not, well.
But yeah, we both did it. Like when we first came out of the movie, we were both like, oh, like he's not that bad. And then the more you think about this movie and you think about all of the little details and the intentions behind certain lines and things that happen.
Lack of consensual sex. like she is like looking dead in the camera, like she wants to die as she's going like, like she's like dead, and he's not looking at her probably because he knows that if he looks at her,
there's moments where like you're led to believe she's clearly a prisoner in her own body.
Oh, well, in her sleep, she literally says it. She literally says, "Kill me. I'd rather be dead." And then what does he do? He goes, "Is it really so bad being with me?" And just because he doesn't have like giant glasses and like a bad haircut and look like Clark Duke, we're fooled. And that is such perfect casting and such a like statement on society without Curry Barker going, "This is my statement on this."
That was probably the most obvious he was with it in the movie.
But he doesn't stay in that. He doesn't stay in that realm for long enough time, so you get fooled by because you're just you're this guy who at the beginning is like just trying to figure out. And
you feel bad for him with his cat too. Like he does a lot of
the poor cat. Yeah, now you're hurting my feelings.
Bad cat.
You feel bad for the guy, and then
he overdosed his cat by accident.
But it's manipulative. It's ultimately manipulative by the filmmaker, and then the cast. It's perfect. You pick this soft, attractive guy, and it's like, and it works because our introduction to him is like, I don't even know how to talk to girls. But then you start to think more about this friend group, which they've been together for multiple years. He weaponizes the fact that she was there for him when his grandma died. That's gross. That doesn't mean she wants to have sex with you. That's actually quite terrible, and that is like not model behavior for anybody. And then it's just like you get more through, and you're like, what does he really know about Nikki? Nothing. Not a damn thing. He didn't know she was a writer. He doesn't know what she wants in a partner. Doesn't know anything like about her. He knows that she's cute. Good job. Welcome to the rest of the world. Like, she's aware of that. So you're going to have to maybe bring something else here.
And the sad thing is he knows a ton about Sarah.
Right. And it's like, and Sarah's not ugly either, but that's irrelevant to the point, really, because like Sarah was his fit right there. And it's just like, it's like she clearly knows about him. She's concerned about him. Like Cooper is like, it looks like you're taking advantage of Nikki from the male perspective. And then she's like, it looks like she's taking advantage of you. Like, and it's just like, I don't know, like Cooper or Bear, what a piece of work. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Aaron, jump into the ending because you want to.
You have anything else to say before we get to the ending about anything?
No, I think you covered. I
think I covered. That's always good to hear on a three-person. Yikes. But anyways, I guess I'll talk some more because we get to the ending and Bear has locked himself into the bathroom at this point, and he has the gun. He's thinking about shooting himself, but he's like, that's too scary. So I'm going to take the coward's way of offering ourselves, I guess, and pill it up.
Just like the cat.
Just like the cat. I'm going out like the cat.
I think it like leads to like the best moment in the movie when like they say a bunch of times in the movie, like they basically tell him, well, a way you can end your wish is just to kill yourself. You can kill yourself. You can kill yourself. Like, and they say it at least 3 or 4 times in the movie. And then like clearly he's like succumbing to the opiates in his system. So he's like dying and Nikki's still under the entrance. And then you see the exact moment she snaps out of it.
You can hear
like, what the fuck? Because she's ready to Romeo and Juliet the whole situation, and then no.
Well, that's what happens is you hear the sticks, you hear the willow snap, and you hear the jingle,
the music that plays,
and then like he is now walking out because he's now in love with her. He doesn't care that he's dying. All he cares about.
Well, I think he forgot, or he didn't realize that.
That's the wish. Is it makes you obsessed with? She said her wish. They don't show it, so it's like you could. It's like probably something like, I wish he loved me as much as I loved him. So it's like, if that's the case, it's like, I love you more than even if I'm dying, I won't even acknowledge it. So he walks over to the couch, and they're for like half a second as obsessed with each other as possible before he dies, and her smile then goes to a frown again, and she starts screaming because now she's going to be charged with triple homicide.
Yeah.
It's like yes, that is like a tragic ending, and it's not even tragic. It's a good horror ending.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a very bleak ending,
bleak.
and I think that's what he wanted and how he wanted to end this movie.
And I just think it could have been interesting if somehow it was able to get to like old age before she was able to really pick up that he didn't love her as much as she loved him, and she's just like had enough. Like it's like 50 years into being together, and he's like somehow figured out. You can just see he's like, I just wish this would end. But he's like too much of a coward to end it because he doesn't want to end his own life. And so then Nikki at like 70, 80 years old snaps to Willow. And then as he's like killing himself with his pill.
Yeah, the only plot hole I could think of would be like, go ahead.
I'm almost done. And then I will not talk the rest of the video, I promise. And then as she wakes up, she's all of a sudden time snapped. She's an 80-year-old woman in front of her with Cooper. So like they cover up the bodies and everything like that. She's not charged with homicide, but she's woken up and her entire life has been gone to somebody else's hands, basically. I think that's more bleak and more scary, but it's probably hard to how you get there.
I would say the only real it's not even like a plot hole, just how if I was in this situation, what I would have done is like, he goes to Ian first with the Willow, with the second Willow, and Ian just fucks him over. But I feel like Nikki would have said whatever he told her to say if he had given her a Willow, and that could have been
also.
But like, what a small nitpick to have. Any final words, Abby?
My thought was, so he ultimately he purchases this Willow as like a gift for her. My thought, and it's not even a plot hole or even really a nitpick, just something like that's kind of weird, is I don't know why you'd get that for somebody as a gift. Even like if it doesn't even work, it's just like a little piece of junk kind of thing. That was my thought, is why would you even you could have been avoided if you would have just not bought it at all. But ultimately, putting that aside, I think that this movie was very excellent. I think it's one of those movies that I want to watch again, like right away, just to try and pick up on all of the details, all the little, even just like the way people say things in the movie, how things are said, all of it. Because I know there's a lot that I've probably missed.
I would say like why he buys it is like the only moment in the movie where he kind of realizes that maybe he shouldn't be pursuing Nikki is because he goes into the store to replace her necklace that she lost, and he doesn't even commit to buying the necklace. He's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll buy this piece of shit instead.
It's what I'd want. It's again showing he's always like viewing things through like a very selfish.
It's the only like moment in the movie where he's like not like he makes like a rational decision in his own realm. But yeah, so let's get on. Let's go over to the ratings. I think we know where we're going with this. Aaron, why don't you start?
Yeah, let's. I'm going to keep it short. This is a 5-star movie for me. This absolutely delivered on all fronts. I think Curry Barker has a tremendous future. I think he's already finished his next movie as well, and then he's got like Texas Chainsaw reboot, and he has my absolute blessing with all of that. And my last question is like, how in the world is this music store operating with 4 full-time employees? Like that is very. I don't buy it.
I mean, most of those stores having come from a town that had 2 of them. It's all rentals. They just rent instruments to kids. Okay. That's how they make their money.
No plot point there. All right.
Yeah.
Plot hole eliminated.
Abby, should I leave this up?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I also gave it 5 stars. I think that this movie is excellent. I think it's a very good, like, mainstream horror movie that's come out where I think that really maybe not anybody can watch it, but I think most people can watch this. It's not too cerebral or confusing, but it's still smart. As to where you're not going to be too confused. But again, it probably has that rewatchability as to where you'll pick up on other new lines of dialogue, different little details throughout it. And I'm going to hop on the Oscar train for the main actress. I really hope that she can manage to get nominated.
I'm also at a 5. I'll leave it up. Let's correct the wrong done to Demi Moore and give Indian Everett her Oscar, because like who else is doing that? Like it's such like she's required to do so many specific different things, and she nails it every single time. Now, is our yelling at the fucking like avalanche gonna change it? I don't know, but like I really hope that like the Academy as they stand can like recognize that this is an accomplishment. If only that.
I think they can do it. I think that Aunt Gladys brought us into a new era in the Oscars.
Yeah, I think that was a start.
True enough. I agree with all that. But if you made this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror and check out the Letterboxd challenge right there. We're still doing it.
Jalo weeks. Let's go.
We're going into the Giallo weeks. Until next time, though, I am JWMaher. That's Abby Brooks and Aaron Brooks. This has been Why We Love Horror. We'll see you next time.